Hey, welcome to today's Daily Devo. So as I was writing this, and although I felt like God had clearly been dropping what He wanted me to share for weeks, as I went to actually put pen to paper or fingertips to keys, Rob, my husband, decided that right now, in all the minutes of all the day to choose from, that now was the perfect moment to put Queen's record on and at full volume. And usually this would really grind my gears as I try to study and write for my devotional, but this time I just smile because it really confirmed my thoughts for this devotional and how loud the world is in this current season. And everyone's shouting their opinion, their point, their argument, their judgment, their thoughts, their experiences. And you would think that all we had to do these days was talk. But as we talk and create noise, David in Psalm 85:5 writes, I hear this most gentle whisper from one I never guessed would speak to me. So the one, God, is speaking. And who would have guessed that He would want to speak to us? And I have really felt the challenge of God to lean in for the whisper. As opinions, points, arguments, judgments, thoughts, experiences shout loud, I am challenged to lean in for truth. And I've got news for you. The news is not all truth. Facebook and Instagram are not all truth. Your neighbour, your friend, your family, their thoughts and opinions, not all truth. And that's because we live in a world that carves us into their value system that is not all truth. But what is all truth is the Word of God. It's not open for debate, it's not open for judgment, it's not ever changing, it's not driven by the current emotion or current trend, it's not loose and surfacey, it's not a pick and mix where we just pick out the bits we agree with or like. The whole thing is God's living, breathing Word speaking to us. It is eternal, it is dependable, it is truth. And we read in Psalm 119 that the sum of His Word is truth. And I've got 3 characteristics that I believe God is calling us as the church out to be in these moments. So number 1 is truth seekers. So do not treat the lies of man like the truths of God. We have got to know the difference. Whose opinions, points and experiences are we putting above God's? And in Romans 1, we see this happen. And so I'm just going to read it now. And it says, For although they knew God, they neither glorified Him as God nor gave thanks to Him. But their thinking became futile and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for human-made idols. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator who is forever praised. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to their depraved mind so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant and boastful. They invented ways of doing evil. They disobeyed their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. So on to Ephesians 4, verse 20 to 32. And it says, But that isn't what you learned about Christ. Since you have heard about Jesus and have learned the truth that comes from Him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former ways of life which are corrupt. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, create it to be like God, truly righteous and holy. Remember, He has identified you as His own. Okay, now that's heavy reading, but we can choose the weight of man's thoughts or the thoughts of the Word that have the weight of God behind them. We need to be aware of what we're putting our weight behind. And this is why we need to be truth seekers. The truth sets us free and others free, and who doesn't want to be free? So the second one is truth believers. Your beliefs don't change what is actually true. So what are you believing today? What are you believing for today? Has God given you a promise that you're still holding out on? A dream that God has said He would bring into reality, but it doesn't look like it's coming, doesn't look like it's going to happen. We need truth believers, because if God said it, He'll do it. What He says, He never takes back. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. That is all through scriptures. Don't get distracted and discouraged by what it looks like, what you feel like, what others' experiences turned out like. His word is solid. So get your hopes up. Get truth believing. So the third characteristic is truth speakers. So this quote from Booker T. Washington is so good, and he says that a lie doesn't become truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by the majority. And the next verse down in Ephesians 4:25, it says that we are to put away falsehood, to stop telling lies, but let all of us speak the truth. So even when we are in the minority, which is almost certain is the church, we must be truth speakers. We need to amplify the truth with humility and grace. We need to remain vigilant in truth and put to death the lies of the enemy. And what a smart tactic by the enemy. You know, the greatest ploy of the enemy is to get the church divided, to get it arguing, to get it more concerned about debating points so that we'll never actually get to our purpose. If I can get you arguing, if I can get you gossiping, if I can get you believing lies, I have got you. If we would rather make a point over seeing people set free, we have got this wrong. This isn't just about us. Yes, we need to speak truth into our own lives, but we need to speak truth into the lives of others. Not this side's on the left here saying, not this side in the right's opinion, not your thoughts, but truth. We're not left, we're not right, we're up. We are kingdom. We are people of God. We care about what God cares about. So if He cares about forgiveness, we care about forgiveness. If He cares about the sick, we care about the sick. If He cares about the vulnerable, we care about the vulnerable. If He cares about speaking truth, then we care about speaking truth. So evil is prevalent and it creeps into every side. But because we're up, we need to say that we will go down. We will get down on our knees as the church and pray, Lord, whatever you want us to do, we'll do. Wherever you want us to go, we'll go, because you are God and we are not. See, this whole thing is Jesus in the beginning, Jesus in the middle, and Jesus in the end. And it's come to a moment where we as the church need to decide to be truth seekers, truth believers, truth speakers. Not just for our own lives, but for the lives of everyone around us. And that truth only comes from God and His living, breathing word. So if you need truth today, lean in for the whisper of truth. There is one you never guessed who wants to speak with you today. And if you feel like you need truth in your life, I am praying that you comprehend the truth of His promise to you, that you comprehend the truth of His goodness and His grace, and that you comprehend the truth of His word. And so I'm praying that for you today, and if you want to discover it for yourself, it's all in the truth. Thanks for listening. Bye.